Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Emma and I make art videos, and for today's video I am working on a mixed media portrait, and for this piece I wanted to do something fantasy related, so I've decided to go with an elf. And for this piece the style was inspired by some books that I actually had as a child. I had a couple of different ones and I think they were mostly fairy related, they were at least fantasy related, and one of the books was about fairy flowers, and I've actually found them online, and the illustrator is Cicely Mary Barker, and the artwork is just really beautiful and delicate, and that's the approach that I was going for this piece. So the main supplies that I'm using are ink, watercolour and a little bit of coloured pencil, and as you can see I did draw the sketch out with lead pencil, although I do erase all of that a bit later on. But once I was happy with the lead pencil I then go in with my ink, and I am using this very fine Copic multiliner. I believe it is 0.05, so it's very small, and this allowed me to be really careful with the thin lines, and I could thicken them if I needed to, or keep them really thin and delicate. Unfortunately, I couldn't continue using this pen after most of the face was done, just because the pen was either running out or just drying out because I'd been using it for a bit. Sometimes it does that. But I just couldn't continue working and I needed to finish this piece basically, so I did go in later on with my Pentel brush pen, and this pen is thicker, so I tried to be very careful with keeping it as thin as possible, although I do think that I make it work. I think it looks okay. I don't think I ruined the piece because of this, but yeah, it kind of just gives a slightly different look, I guess, but I think it works. I think it's alright. And then once I've done all of the ink, then I went in and erased all of the lead pencil from beforehand because I didn't want any of that showing through. Obviously, if you're working on something similar, you could leave that if you wanted to. It just depends what kind of look you're going for, but I wanted the lines to look very delicate and clear, so that's what I did. And then once I erased all of the lines, I then started going in with my watercolour. And I wanted the watercolour to be, again, quite delicate, so nothing too strong, and I wanted all the colours to kind of flow together and be very similar in colour, so I went in with kind of a yellowish blonde for the hair and a slightly kind of warmer reddish tone for the skin colour, which was, you know, somewhat similar to the hair, and then some light greens and some warmer reds, so they're all like very similar. And then lastly I did go in with my white gel pen to add some highlights, and that's basically it. So I'm pretty happy with how this piece turned out. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video and watching the process. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and I will see you all in my next video.